Well, I hope you all are not sick of Dimir because I'm going to be playing a lot of it going into, the new set approaching. And then after that, hopefully, there's another inspiration that I get to play something else. But right now, I'm really enjoying this specific color combination. Now, I will be alternating between this and Esper. I do like this better because I'm very appreciative of the mana base, basically. I really like when decks have good mana bases. And when I see a bad mana base, I get really frustrated with the game. And I think Esper, there's probably a way to build it where you can utilize, the tri-colored lands and it doesn't feel too bad. But right now, I think with Dimir really being at the top of the meta, near the top of the meta game, or the top of the meta game, I'm not sure, but I would probably say it's at the top right now. But yeah, if you want to play against Dimir as Esper, having those tri-lands does hurt quite a bit because you don't want to miss a turn. Like, you don't want to miss a turn 3 to playing a tap land on turn 3. You want to make sure you're curving out because they're curving out, right? You have to match that kind of pace with the Dimir deck. But here we're talking about Dimir. I made a few changes. One is we're moving away from Fairy Mastermind a little bit. The reason for that is the card was really there for control matchups. And I think control matchups are already pretty easy with this deck since we have so many planeswalkers and like pretty decent early game disruption and stuff like that, like really good counter magic. And we've got Mirex. I'm thinking about third Mirex, by the way. That's something I'm going to explore in the future. But Mastermind, it's still good, but it doesn't feel like it's great in the mirror, and it doesn't feel like there are many control decks. So if you see a lot of control decks, I would recommend playing some more of these. The compromise I made was to add 2 Sorins, which are going to be better in the mirror match. And the mirror match is decided by early game pressure and snowballing with Planeswalkers, I think, because Planeswalkers are really good in these colors. And adding that Sorin gives you Planeswalker on 3, potentially Planeswalker on 4, and then you'll really pull ahead and it'll be really hard to come back. We are still playing Delirium. I think Delirium is fantastic. It's been relevant in a few matches, not as often, obviously, because it's a one of. I have to draw it first. But every time I draw it, it does feel like it has a decent impact, especially in creature matchups where you can reuse all these removal spells that are really efficient. Another thing I noticed is that I wanted more copies of Shielded Edict. So I have another copy. We have one in the sideboard as well, and we have one in the main deck, which I don't think was a thing before. And I think this is really something that we should be moving towards with the amount of Planeswalkers seeing play and Trespasser mostly. Trespasser is a huge problem in the mirror match. So basically, I'm moving in the direction of making the deck better in the mirror match. Now, the problem with that, of course, is that once I make a change and people adapt to that change, it's just like a never-ending cycle of like adaptation. And at some point, the adaptation goes too far, and then other decks can start attacking the deck because all the sideboard cards and all the overall game plan of the deck is too focused on the mirror match. So there's definitely going to be a point where I think other decks can really attack the mirror. But right now, I'd say there are enough tools on the sideboard for like those kind of annoying decks like enchantments and stuff like that to not really be much of a problem. Either way, I didn't make any other changes other than that. I think we still have the 2 Parasitic Grasp. No, we have 1 Parasitic Grasp now. Okay, I went down on it. I haven't seen any mono red. If you're seeing more mono red, easy answer to mono red. Just play Parasitic Grasp. But the Sorin is also good against mono red, so I figured it would probably be fine. Anyways, enjoy these matches, and yeah, I'll take my leave with this current build. There will be more updates, of course. I keep iterating on this deck. I really like playing it, and I hope you all are enjoying the deck as well. Uh-oh. I don't know what I would need to win. Probably only underdog. That's like the only combo that can recover card advantage fast enough.
This fight finished before Brun.
Lily,
Oh,
maybe?
no.
If I get 2 activations off Lily, it's theoretically possible that I come back. Damn, that's playing against the budget deck and having a card that actually wrecks me is really frustrating.
You won't be outsmarted.
Like, there's not. I don't think there are any other. I mean, there's the white one drop. I guess that would have been worse. But I mean, the token is really annoying when I have sack effects only.
You failed to
It's a really bad draw.
Luck favors- One of your friends has to leave.
Not only because I have to plus, but most likely not gonna hit anything. I don't have the mana
Haven't you ever
to hold up.
had personal space?
That's decent though. And them only having.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Okay. Them only having. I might be able to win. Again, Planeswalkers were like the only way I could win because they can get a 2-for-1, so I could possibly make up for the bad mulligan, but it's gonna be difficult.
You know, I think you look better as a corpse.
Now this is a juicy secret.
At least I have to choose, and both of them are good. As long as they don't top deck something crazy, okay, that's good. Okay.
Don't you see I'm trying to help?
Waste of my time. Nothing more. I've always hated krowz.
Wow,
Thanks.
that's
Now,
quite good.
now this is a juicy secret.
Okay, well, thank goodness I was on the play, because otherwise probably would have lost. I don't have that many. I don't have that many good cards in this matchup. Mostly because none of my sweepers actually hit this, so I have to actually target it. Most of my removal is not great. Lily. I think what I'm looking to do is probably take the removal spells and just slam Shield Red. That looks like the only real good outcome. I really don't know if I want Urtai. I feel like giving them a card is probably bad. I don't even know if I want Kaito really. I'd probably rather have this than Kaito, if not even. No, probably not Mixer. I might play Lily. Even though it's bad. Wait, I was at 61? How'd that happen? Hmm. I think I forgot to move one of the cards to sideboard and then whatever. It's not a huge deal. Some people play 61. I'm one of those people. That's really bad if they have a 12. Okay. Still really bad, but not terrible. Having to deal with Death Touch poison is very bad. But knowing that all of them die to my sweepers is definitely reassuring. Somewhat. Or force,
This
though.
is my
No.
home, and I don't.
Overstated.
Off you go.
Good. But they have to hit that. And now I
This
pray.
was a waste of time.
Ooh. There's really... I don't think there's a reason to just play. I could trade. Yeah, you know what? I'll do it. Yeah, I don't necessarily want to deal with that anyways. I'll probably trade that. Shelly wins this turn, it wins next turn. Yeah, maybe. Not necessarily though, because again, this goes pretty fast. Poison is like if they have more of the death touch creatures, I can't block anymore. But the main argument is that I wanted to get duress out, so that it has a high chance of living. But I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Two poison, two poison. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I lost the game because this probably would have won. If I just find a sweeper here, that could be good enough. Eight. Still alive, technically. Not really, but I'm not trying to win this. I need a sweeper next turn, I guess. Yeah, it is technically possible. I find a sweeper next turn, I attack with both. And I would be okay, actually. Because this only... Oh. Oh, it's still let that connect, right? There's no reason... No reason to block, I would... Well, there is if I'm planning on using this to not die, but then how do I win? Mm. My only... No, lifelink. No, it's over. The Scrubs 5 beats me every time. I don't really see... I don't really see an option. Or maybe if they never attack, then maybe. So I bounce that, I draw a sweeper, I attack. Does that do anything? I don't know if it does anything, but I feel like I have a choice. Hmm. Almost 15 cards in, no sweeper. It's gonna be hard without it. That was just too much of a good top deck, and I cannot find any spells, so... I guess this is a decent blocker, all things considered. It does give them a card, but if it can just block the 1/1s, maybe that's all I need. I think the card draw is more important, potentially. I think it's okay. Again, like, the good thing about Kaito is you play it and you're almost guaranteed the card draw, so... if you find a sweeper, you can just automatically protect it. It doesn't... the problem is their 4/4 is so good. That's the only card I'm really not able to deal with. Plus, they're playing the... they're playing that 3/2 as well, which is surprisingly effective. That's good. I don't think they have many actual destroy effects, so... they see they have -4/-4 in the fight spell so far. That's all we've seen. I can just catch a few cards with Path of Peril here and then slam Shield Red. We'll be okay. Very good. Alright, perfect. I value... what do I value more or less? That's the question. I think I would value Peril less. Okay, 2 mana. That's another thing that I forgot about with this low overall mana count deck, is that can happen, which is pretty good for me. Fine. Also fine. I would rather have Path here, but it is what it is. Okay. I mean, I got 3-for-1s on both my sweepers, so the deck just crumbles. If that's how easy it is if I find a sweeper. And if they don't find Scrub's Hive, I guess. But Scrub's Hive is not as effective on the draw. Probably a risk worth a... yeah, I mean, this is like insane if I find my 3rd land. And I get info. Okay, well, I mean, they also they also kept a hand that is very interesting, so I'm not sure if they're gonna get out of that. And they almost did. Finding that white source is... yeah, I don't know. That's pretty crazy that they just found that, but Could start plussing. They're obviously gonna get that down eventually, so maybe it's not worth doing that. But I will be presenting Field Red as well. So maybe plussing here is kind of interesting because it doesn't actually help me that much. I'm discarding cards that they wouldn't be able to cast anyways. You don't force the removal with Trespasser, that's the problem. But I could do like double Trespass. No, I would. It's either I do this into Shield Red or I do this into Shield Red. The problem with this is that I would have to discard a Trespasser, which may or may not be okay. And also, if they do answer my Lily, which they probably won't. I don't know. I'm gonna go with this one. I'll go with the safer play. I'm not sure it's better though. Usually in this matchup, you want to be more. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's a risk that I might be willing to take. But I'm not sure. Like, having them discard this and this is pretty worthless. That's the problem. Okay. So my plan was to just play Shield Red. Shield Red eats the removal spell. Then I play Lily. I don't know. At this point, like, the good news is that I would be able to swing for 4 every turn. I could even do second Trespasser there, which actually maybe is the correct decision. That way I have 8 power, and then maybe they're supposed to remove it, so that probably would have been a better play. Play slow and hope they concede. Well, I mean, they conceded because they got mana screwed, and they kept a 1-lander, which isn't the best thing to do in this matchup, or in any matchup, really. And they would have, if I wasn't, here's the thing, if I wasn't playing Duress main deck, they maybe would have gotten away with it, because they actually did find the white, which is very important. Then they could have grabbed a blue, and then they can actually cast Binding, they can cast the counterspell. I guess a little bit scarier. Sorin or Shield Red? Interesting. Very interesting. I would lean towards Sorin, but I'll do a split as a middle ground there. I mean, probably not. No. I don't think I want to be proactive on the draw, and this is like pretty proactive, so could work if nothing terrible happens to me early. But I mean, even if they play just one of the 4/4s that ramps, I'm already screwed. Am I? Maybe I'm not. Maybe it's okay. Worst case, they play like a ramp spell on 2 and then a ramp spell on 3, then I'm screwed. And then I also have to find 2 lands, otherwise I'll never be able to interact. Assuming I do find land 3, I can play this on 2, play this on 3, discard this, which would be good. And having two hard counters is good. And I am on the draw, so I could also draw. The thing is, I do need a black source. I think that's the more dangerous aspect of this keep, is that if I draw a blue, I'm actually screwed. Okay, fine. Probably would have kept it if I had 2 black sources. This hand is similar. Obviously not as good when it comes to mid to late game, so that's gonna be tough. No counter magic. Aether Channeler. Why would you play Aether Channeler? This deck just looks it's probably okay, but it looks very unfocused. Like there's a lot of the deck that you linked is there's a lot of like random, I would say, cards that don't really fit optimally into the deck. They'll be okay in some situations, but it's not optimized. But it's probably fine. Well, any Dimir deck with a solid base is gonna be good. So, but all there's to it. There's not much. It's not like a very complex deck to get going, but the key is to find a way to optimize it, and that one is not very optimized. Blue. I think I will lose the game if they have counterspell either way. Honestly, maybe. But if they do have counterspell, I'd rather play this. Now I have to hope they don't have the ramp. That was assuming they had the 4-mana ramp spell. Would probably lose if they have the counterspell, but I guess I would lose anyways. It's not like I'd be getting around that.
No more distractions. Let's
Wonder if plussing is just better. It's just the correct play here. Sure, they have one more ramp, I lose the game, but whatever. I feel like I'm taking like too
Haven't you ever
many
heard of
conservative lines.
space?
And I feel like my first hand could have worked if I drew the black source, I guess. So seeing what they have here, maybe. And Desecrator is just a very bad card, I think. 6 mana, you're gonna be stuck with it in your hand early, and it's gonna feel terrible. So that's the issue.
Oh, that's my cue to leave.
I think playing Takenuma is more optimal than playing Underdog here. That's a top deck, right? So I'm assuming I need counterspell like right now. I have a few options to get it. One would just be to get a make disappear off this. One would be to draw that. Tricky. I'm playing very defensively. That might be to my detriment. Whoa. Wait, what color are they missing for them to do that? They misclicked, right? No? No, wait, what? I was like, but why would they even sequence it like that? I could have make disappear too. Very weird. But good for me though.
The system can't fix everything, but we can. Now, what do we have here?
Unless they top decked another one randomly. Okay. Oh, I probably should have. My bad.
I know something you don't know.
Yeah, not very smart. Really, not very smart. I'm still gonna do it post combat, I guess. I was thinking about flipping this too much, and then I forgot that I should probably do that anyways. I was like, this is probably good. I can flip it this turn, but it's not even worth considering really when I have underdog in hand. I just forgot I had it. I don't think I would keep this. Alright, fine. I have 4 shield reds. I really don't want to draw a second one. And if it's all Dimir mirrors anyways... Oh. Well, that's gonna be fun. Literally lost the card there. And they're gonna top deck a counter spell, so... I like that. Yeah, going down a card there is so bad. Since I was already on a mulligan, having to go essentially down to 5 is very bad. Very, very bad. But hopefully all these 2-for-1s... Well, these aren't really 2-for-1s. Hopefully this 2-for-1 is enough. Okay, good. So that means they have maybe 1 spell maximum. Actually, no. It's 1 spell maximum. Literally. No alternative. And here, they have to sacrifice the Mastermind if they want to keep up blockers, which is also an interesting decision for them, but... I mean, I'm assuming they really don't want to sacrifice the Mastermind, so... Not the best situation for me. I do have the better creature, I think. At least in terms of stats. Oof. That's gonna be a problem. Damn, if only I'd kept the shield red.
I knew this was a waste of time.
Oh. Well. Found the shield red. They can bounce it. Then draw 2 cards, which is bad. I've lost too much tempo. I'm down a card. I'm down too much board presence. I don't have any removal. If I find a Go for the Throat or an Edict, might be okay. Possible I just attack here no matter what. I'm trying to think, like, they're... probably not, really. Can't raise. Assuming they kill this doesn't do anything. Or I don't drain anything. So just putting them down to 7, I wouldn't... I guess it would stop them, theoretically, from drawing. I'll do it. Assuming they can flip this back, I would probably want to get the 4 damage in. And this, you know, dealing some amount of damage is relevant. The lower they get, the scarier it is to activate that. And I can easily find... Well, essentially, they can't really draw with this a single time if they leave this on nighttime, because find 2 removal spells, they lose. Well, assuming they don't block, which they probably will. But, yeah. Pretty bad situation. Unfortunate situation, really. The Gix turn things around. The Channel Land turned things around. Me keeping duress was bad. Usually I would say it's not, but... There's also the possibility that they're flooding, which is the only out I really have, I guess. Is this a force proc? No. No, May. Okay. So by now they have a removal spell or 2 blockers. And it's probably not, realistically. Not necessarily, though. I could find Shield Red here. Oh, wait, no, they, yeah. Damage ring. Okay.
There are many secrets I don't know, but
Not,
not for long.
not ideal. Pretty unfortunate. But I think I still have a good matchup into this, so it's not a huge deal. Ugh. Got burned by duress already. I'm wondering if I should even consider playing it. Like, they're not playing that many non-creature spells. I think they're gonna play more, but can't really risk it. It does feel really bad. Also, Make Disappear doesn't feel like it's gonna be that impactful either. I do think Sorin is gonna be good. Seems like any amount of flying blockers is gonna be effective. It's also possible Path of Peril is okay, if not good. Planeswalkers are not that good. Those that don't generate flying blockers, at least. This is always good. Or interact with the board. This is probably good. Kaito, for the most part, I would say it's not great. It does replace itself guaranteed, and it does buy me a little bit of life. Probably should play at least 2. Fairy Mastermind seems really good. Wish I was playing more for this specific matchup, but how could I have known? Either way, let's just see what happens. It might be a tricky matchup. Maybe I'm supposed to play Duress, but that first game told me that they're not playing a lot in the main deck. Now, if they board some in, I might regret that, but not too much I can do. If they board in Planeswalkers, it's also going to be a problem. This hand is not great. It is good against a very specific hand that they could have. It is good against what I've seen in game 1. Now, if they've changed that, it's not going to be as good. Or if they don't draw that way, it's not going to be as good. Oh, probably should have played that, but there's no way I'm playing. No, couldn't, yeah. Should have played that. No Planeswalker on either side. They might have a bunch of removal. I have a bunch of removal. Probably have Urtai somewhere. I have Urtai now. If I had anything proactive, it would be so... Oh. That's probably insta-loss, honestly. Yeah. Unfortunate. Could have won game 1. Probably can't win game 2. Their sideboard is very, very... I don't know how many of those they have, but that card is really good. Well, I say that, but if I had a proactive hand, maybe I should have mulliganed. I don't know. Hard to say. If I had a proactive hand, this is useless, but I don't. So, I guess I'm just gonna lose. I don't have a single proactive spell. Like, if I had anything on the battlefield, this would be less powerful. Kind of hoping they would have like some form of aggression like game 1. Hmm. Yep, I don't care. That's fine.
Happy to help, but I'm taking the credit when we win. I'm tired of your secrets.
Might even be beneficial. Yeah, that is actually beneficial, I think. Trading that for... I might even let them keep that. It does seem like it probably benefits me since I have the Leer. But I also don't want to get countered, so... Like, I don't want them to untap Urtai and then have a counterspell up. And I think they found a land from my side as well. The good news is they don't have planeswalkers and they don't have anything either, so it's not like it's... Oof. I almost want to pass. But I think I'll play it. Wow. Now that is fantastic.
Violence is necessary to set things right.
Decent.
Nothing on Innistrad is...
So they have edicts, which is okay. I already drew a card off that. And I know they don't have counterspell. That's fantastic. So we're still in it. Still in it. They cut down the edict. They don't edict. Then they have stop. Oh, they have edict, but they also have shield up. Okay, they have interaction for sure. I mean, I knew they had the edict, so this is probably just the edict, and potentially one more spell. I don't know, but I'm able to push my card advantage. I think their main weakness is probably that their deck is very straightforward in one direction, and it's mostly proactive with creatures, and that's not as good post board. So while they have some tools that are way better post board, their overall deck structure is not as good. So with me with underdog and all that stuff, I have like a lot more card advantage to play around with. I have more planeswalkers probably. More 2-for-1s overall. Okay, so that was what they had. It's fine. I essentially paid 2 life, and they paid 4 mana and a bounce, which is... So they don't have... They might not have edicts. Okay, so they don't have anything playable proactively. They probably just have a bunch of answers. That's okay with me. Fine. Good news is now that I know they have no counterspell and no proactive plays, I can just play Sorin again. Fine. I don't think I want to use Urtai here. It's possible that I do. And then I just play Leer. I could also just play Leer and kill both of those, which actually does seem kind of reasonable. I have the mana? Yeah, I do, right? I will take 2 damage, but that's good. Oh yeah, I knew that was there too, yeah. It could be Lily realistically, but I don't know. I like Sorin. This doesn't bounce their own creatures. Yep. Still have 1 mana play though. What that could be. Nah, that's I don't have a play around that, right? Oh, but I do sequencing. Yeah, sequence not right. Yeah, I should cut down for I forgot about that. We cut down for so it's like 3-2 life, which is not great, but I think it's okay. That 3-mana Kaito? Yeah.
Get in, get out. Easy mission.
It's not terrible, I
I've
guess.
got all kinds of krowz.
Interesting match, really. I don't know. I didn't think I would win, but I guess I just didn't realize how much better my deck is overall
There's no secret
in the
I've
mirror.
yet to uncover.
Seems like they just have a bunch of creatures and removal, but doesn't really do that much. They don't have enough planeswalkers. They don't have this. You cut down first, they get connive, which can get out of random cut down. That is actually true, you're right. That's true. True. Okay. How many non-creature spells have we seen? I wouldn't say that many. Maybe a little bit more. Like, the question, no. When they're on the play, I don't know. I have to evaluate like how good they are as a sideboard. As a sideboard or whatever you want to call it. Like how good their sideboarding is. If their sideboarding is really good, they should cut down on answers and they should go back to their original game plan, which means I also don't want duress. Also, I think Kaito might be. I could replace Kaito for duress. They're fundamentally different. One would allow me to maybe stabilize a little bit easier. One would allow me to take over a little bit easier in the mid game. But I also know they play some planeswalkers and those can be problematic, so maybe I should just play duress, take the hit. If I don't play duress, and I'm also not playing counter magic, if they play Kaito turn 3, I lose, probably. Almost guaranteed. Well, there you go. I think that's worth, as long as it hits something, whatever that is. Okay. Worked about as well as I wanted to. Now the problem is if they find land 3 here, I'm so screwed. Because I guess this is about as bad as Kaito, if not worse, really. But they only had 2 lands, so it's also very possible that they don't find it, and then we're in a suddenly much better position. This is also a very interesting decision, but I do think so I didn't see counterspell, but they also didn't draw land. But I also know they have a play. So it could be the flash creatures. It could also be removal. I would say it's less likely they have counterspell. In that case, I think it's better to play Lily. I think it's more likely to be a creature.
When I win.
Or remove. It's more likely to be creature or removal, because I know at least one of these cards is, so the other would have to be the counterspell, and I don't think that's... Yeah, there we go. That's actually perfect.
I've always hated krowz.
That's even better than I would have expected. So now they really need counterspell. It's possible they have it. Oh.
No cost is too great.
There's the creature. So maybe they had the creature and the removal spell. No, they didn't, because otherwise... So they top decked that. Because otherwise they would have just done that and attacked.
Busy.
That's annoying, but also fine, because that removal spell would have hit my shield rod, so...
Know that I will
Now I'm forcing them to have a different removal. And I also found cut down, so that's pretty much game, I think. Not only do they need to draw another removal spell, but I also have this removal spell in case they do find, like, well, I guess they wouldn't want to draw with shield on the board, but yeah. If you enjoy my content and would like to help me keep making it, consider supporting me over on Patreon, where you'll get access to a bunch of bonus videos, as well as other rewards depending on the tiers. And thank you so much to all the lovely patrons that are already subscribed. I appreciate it very much. And I will see you all in the next video.